This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine, it's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Body wash. Wishing for a body wash made with natural ingredients? Dr. Squatch has got you covered. Manly scents that make you irresistible, a thick lather that leaves your skin moisturized all day. No matter what you're looking for in a body wash, rest assured, Dr. Squatch is your best bet. Pick up one today in store or at drsquatch.com. It's Dr. Squatch Body Wash for men who prefer natural.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest 10-minute or less Eagles podcast there is, bringing you news, notes, and opinions right here on the Eagles Pinpull Podcast Network. I'm your host, Phil Stifle. You can find me on all social media platforms at Beard and Knowledge. It's Tuesday, November 12th. It's a short week. And when I say a short week, it's a super short week, as Thursday is already only a few days away, and our division matchup against the Washington Commanders, where first place is on the line in the division. It's creeping up so quick already. I'm just getting over the curb stomping of the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm already thinking about Washington and the first of what will be a tough season-defining 6-week stretch for the Philadelphia Eagles. And yeah, it's going to be a really tough 6-week stretch here, obviously, with Washington on Thursday night. But over the next 6 weeks, 5 of the next 6 games for our Philadelphia Eagles will be against playoff caliber, or at least in the playoff picture teams, obviously with 2 against Washington, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, the Rams, who are surprisingly a pretty solid team right now, and the Carolina Panthers, the one terrible team in that grouping there. So it's going to be the first major test after the last 5 weeks and the 5 wins in a row for the Eagles against subpar opponents. This Eagles team and all the great stats we're going to give you this week on the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network, they're all going to be put to the test over the next 6 weeks. I can rattle them off. The Eagles defense, so to say, they're only giving up, they're first in the NFL, 5.5 yards per pass attempt they're only giving up. 274.1 yards a game, second in the NFL in yards given up a game. They've only given up 8 passing touchdowns. That's third in the NFL. They're fourth in the NFL in quarterback rating allowed. They're fifth in the league with 17.9 points per game given up. But again, they were Daniel Jones, Cooper Rush, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence. Now we're going up against Jalen Daniels. We're going up against Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson over the next 6 weeks. So these numbers and these stats that we can rattle off to you all day long about how great this team is, it's all going to be put to the test. All put into the test over the next 5-6 weeks of games. And it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Like I said, it's a super short week. Obviously, there was a practice injury report put out on Monday, even though there was no practice. These are estimations, so to speak. And if there was a practice today, Dallas Goedert, Darius Slay, and Devontae Smith all would not have practiced. But bright note on the practice report was Bryce Huff would have been a full participant, but so would have Jordan Mailata. Jordan Mailata's practice window has been open. Now, with there only being one real practice on Tuesday afternoon, I don't even know how full that practice will be. and then just another walkthrough on Wednesday. I don't know how realistic it is to expect Jordan Mailata to be back for Washington on Thursday night. But at a minimum, he'll be back the following week against the Rams, which is fantastic news. We need Jordan Mailata back, A, for the tush push, B, for the run blocking. But let me just give this out to you here. On Sunday against the Cowboys, and we smoked the Cowboys. Their defensive front still got a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts. Obviously, he was sacked 5 times in the first half. Some was his fault, some wasn't. But Fred Johnson gave up 4 pressures, 2 sacks. Mekhi Becton gave up 4 pressures. Cam Jurgens gave up 2 sacks and 2 pressures. Even Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson were giving up several pressures each. This offensive line of the Eagles, while it is elite, while it has patchworked itself through injuries throughout this season, the loss of Jordan Mailata, and this is not a knock on Fred Johnson. Fred Johnson has played and performed admirably in that left tackle position for Jordan Mailata, but he just doesn't come close to what Jordan Mailata is capable of doing and what Jordan Mailata it just does in a general basis. I'm not trying to knock Fred Johnson, but getting Jordan Mailata out there maybe Thursday night, but definitely the following Sunday will be a major, major compliment to this Eagles offense and just make them that much better because the pass blocking will get better. Jalen Hurts will be more confident when he drops back and the pressure is coming. And for all the talk that he holds on to it too long and he struggles so much, Jalen Hurts was 7 for 9 and 115 yards and 2 touchdowns when he was pressured on Sunday. So all this talk that he holds on to it too long, I don't know where they come from. He performs and throws under pressure and under duress better than most. Yeah, he's going to take some sacks. The only play that I'll really criticize Jalen Hurts for was when he did get the strip sack fumble because he was just holding the ball so loosey-goosey, and that's unlike him. Here's another thing with Jalen Hurts. For as great as he's been, as much criticism he faces as well. And, you know, when I do Trending in the AM right now, the subtitle of my name says Jalen Hurts is MVP. He started the season as a 15-1 odds to win the MVP. It's now bumped up to 12-1. The Eagles, which started as 15-1 favorites to win the Super Bowl, bumped up to 9-1. Actually, I'm getting offered a cash out on that bet that I made before the season at this point. That's how much improved the Eagles have become. I want to give something. This is something that's been rattling around in this little brain of mine for all the Jalen Hurts critics that are out there. Do we realize that there has only been 9 quarterbacks that are active in the NFL that have actually played in a Super Bowl? 9. One of them is Joe Flacco. That was in 2012. One's Aaron Rodgers, who's watched his last Super Bowls in 2010. And I know Russell Wilson's playing pretty well. One of them's him. So outside of Stafford and Joe Burrow, you know, it's Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, you know, Jared Goff, and Patrick Mahomes. They're really the guys. Brock Purdy as well. There's very few active quarterbacks that have put up the stats, the record, and the continued successful winning that Jalen Hurts has done. And none of those guys that I mentioned that have played in the Super Bowl have had to deal with the adversity that Jalen Hurts has. Different coordinator every single season. Different, you know, style. Injuries all over his team throughout the years. It's quite entertaining to listen to the Jalen Hurts haters where he put out the performance on Sunday that he did against the Dallas Cowboys, but he fumbled the ball and he held onto the ball too long, and them just constantly finding something to criticize him. Look, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He might not do it pretty. Whatever happened, this is how I'm going to end this episode of the Eagles Checkdown. Whatever happened to the simple phrase of winning is the main thing? Under Nick Sirianni and under Jalen Hurts, winning is what the Eagles do. They haven't won a Super Bowl, but how many teams have won a Super Bowl outside the Chiefs over the last couple of years? We'll just leave it at that. Winning is the main thing. Jalen Hurts gives us the best chance at doing that. We're going to be tested, like I said, over the next 5-6 weeks of games. But just think of it this way. With the last 2 games against Dallas, who'll be washed by that point, New York Giants, who are already washed, those are 2 wins. We're at 7-2. Those last 2 games are wins. That's 9-2. The next 6 games, we get 2 wins. That puts us at 11 wins. Not only is that a lock for playoffs, that probably puts us with that NFC East championship. That's just something right there. And that's if we go 2-4 over the next 6 weeks, which that's a stretch. this Eagles team cares about one thing, winning, and that is the main thing. And when you hear Nick Sirianni talk, that's what they are. They're living in the moment. They're going day to day, week to week. The next thing is the most important thing, and that's something that I love. Guys, this is the Eagles Checkdown. I am Phil Stiefel. You can find me every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on the STT Sports Network, hosting Trending in the AM, talking all things trending in Philadelphia sports, period. So I'd greatly appreciate it. I put a link down in the description here, wherever you get your podcast form. Just copy and paste that. Find me on the YouTube channel, and make sure you click subscribe. I'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. But again, this is the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest sub-10-minute podcast there is, talking all Eagles news, notes, and opinions. I'm Phil Stiefel. This is the Eagles Pinpull Podcast Network. Go Birds, and bubbles up.
This episode is brought to you by Etsy.
Oh.
Hear that?
Okay. Thank you.
Etsy knows these aren't the sounds of holiday gifting. Well, not the ones you're hoping for. You want squeals of delight. Happy tears.
How did you?
And spontaneously written songs of joy.
I am so happy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, the song needs a bit of work, but anyway, to get those reactions, make sure everyone on your list feels heard with handmade, handpicked, and designed gifts from small shops on Etsy. Gifts like personalized jewelry, custom artwork, cozy style items, vintage pieces, and home decor to celebrate all of your favorite people and their specific kind of special. For original gifts that say, I get you, Etsy has it.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Imagínate escuchar tu canción favorita como si fuera la primera vez. Te presentamos el totalmente nuevo y reimaginado Nissan Kicks con sonido Bose Personal Plus y bocinas en la parte superior de los asientos para crear una experiencia 360. Jamás has escuchado algo así. Reimagina tu música y tu forma de manejar. Descubre el totalmente nuevo y reimaginado Nissan Kicks en nissanusa.com. Función disponible. Bose es una marca registrada de The Bose Corporation.